are no guests. So, and live streaming is started. So, yes, Madam President. All right. Toastmaster Mufaddal, please open the meeting.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Mufaddal Murtaza, Sergeant at Arms for Karachi Toastmasters Club, and it's my privilege to open the meeting. Today is our 1004th meeting, which is happening today. Unfortunately, due to bad weather conditions, we had to do this meeting online. Since this meeting is online, I would request everyone to open the camera so that the meeting stays interactive. During the meeting, please keep your microphones on mute so that there is no disturbance while the speaker is speaking. Only unmute your mic when it is required. Third thing is that please avoid talking on topics such as religion, sex, and politics, as they are not allowed to talk in the Toastmasters at the Toastmasters. So hope we have a very good meeting. Over to you, Madam President.
Good evening, everyone. Toastmasters is a public speaking platform where people from different walks of life come together. I think, in fact, I should skip this part because there are no guests. And there are no guests. So, how could we have the business segment?
Yes. So thank you, Madam President. And starting the business segment with a recap of our previous meeting, which happened last Saturday. It was our meeting number 1003, and it featured a keynote speech by DTM Sachweb on digital marketing. And it also had, of course, two projects it was an academy meeting, and in academy meeting we do not have voting, so there were no winners. We also had an event last Sunday where we bid farewell to one of our stalwart members, TTM Uneeb, and it was not a meeting, but it did have a table topic session. In our last open house meeting, which happened exactly 1 week ago, we had a World Championship of Public Speaking semi-finalist, Toastmaster Adeline Ng, and she stood to be the best speaker. Best table topics was won by DTM Zishan Abid. Best evaluator was won by DTM Ghulam Qadir, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. Best Big Four was also won by DTM Zishan Abid, our table topics table topics evaluator. And Critics' Choice Best Speaker was also won by Toastmaster Adeline Ng. Between that meeting and today, there was only one decision by the executive committee that needs to be reported to the members' body, and that is, of course, the mode of this particular meeting. Today, we decided to have an online only meeting instead of a hybrid meeting in view of the weather. So with that, I hand over the charge back to Madam President.
Okay, now I'll be introducing the Toastmaster of the day. We all know him as a very eloquent and a very crisp speaker. It's none other than TM Naveed Aslam. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam President. And a very good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm really elated for being Toastmaster of the day today. Our theme for today's meeting is liberation. Human souls love freedom, independence, and liberation. Liberation from poverty, liberation from hunger, and liberation from injustice. We just had Ashura. Imam Hussain liberated thoughts of the generations to come for not accepting the unjust, no matter how powerful the oppressor be. Our Qaid liberated us from the rule we were subject to for centuries. But I have a question. Have we liberated ourselves from mediocrity, from division, and from negativity? So let's agree today to liberate ourselves from mediocrity, from negativity, and from division. Now, moving to our meeting today. Our meeting has, as usual, 3 major segments. First one is the prepared speeches. Second one is the table topic. Third one is the evaluation. And in order for me to run this meeting, a lot of people assisting, we call facilitators. So we have grammarian, we have timer, we have our counter. We have both counter, word master, and lister. So I would first like grammarian to please introduce them as well as their roles.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good evening to all the Toastmasters. I am the grammarian and word master for today's meeting. The role of word master is to introduce new words to all the Toastmasters. So the new word for today's meeting is elated. The meaning of elated is to be extremely happy and excited, often because something has happened or been achieved. So all the Toastmasters are requested to use this word in their today's speeches, and as well as while performing their roles today. So and in the end, when I am asked to report, I'll be telling the names of those who use this word today. And as a role of grammarian, my role and my duty is to observe and examine the language that is used throughout the meeting and note down if there are any grammatical errors. And in the end, when I'm asked, I'll be reporting those errors with their corrections. This is it.
Thank you, TM Muzammil, for explaining both the roles. I would like now to invite timer TM Tala bin Hamid to explain the role.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. As the timer of the meeting, it will be my role to keep tabs on the timing of individual segments, including speeches, including table topics, including evaluation. So for example, if a speech is 5 to 7 minutes, the minimum time is 5 minutes. I'll show the green. In the intermediate time, I'll show the yellow. And if you've reached the maximum time, I'll show red. Similarly, for table topics, it will be 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. It will be 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and 3 minutes. And if you see red, that means that you have 30 seconds to wind up whatever you're doing, whether you're speaking or you're attempting table topics or attempting an evaluation. I'll also make an attempt to make sure that the meeting remains on time. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, TM Tala, for explaining the role. I would now like to invite TM Shakil Ahmed as our counter to please explain the role.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you, Naveed. Today my role is for our counter, and in our counter, I'm very elated that I'm doing this role. Normally, I win this contest by maximizing the and ums, but actually this is a very important role. this role improves our ah and ums and repeating of words in our speeches. So the purpose of this role is to check in your speech how many times we stop, how many times we repeat the words, like so. But these type of words we are repeating in our speeches, and how many times we use like this. So it's very important, and this always improves our speech. So today I will check the and ums and doing this role.
Thank you. Thank you, team.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, David.
So before I request TM Hina to introduce her role, listening and body language is extremely important for any communication, or I would say it forms a substantial portion of any communication. So now I would request our facilitator TM Hina to explain her role as listener.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, and good evening and Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My role as listener today is to keep my ears wide open for any different phrases, quotes, words that our speakers will be using. And at the end of the meeting, when I'm called, I will be asking all of you who said those phrases, or maybe a different type of question related to something someone said. So I would request all of you also to keep your ears wide open. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, TM Hina. So since we are online and we have to conduct this meeting online, so we will be needing some sort of technical person to manage if there is any disruption. And for that, we have a technical host who is Tala bin Hamid and Saad Shoaib. So they will just be making our life easy in case if there is any issue. So I won't be taking much time asking them to explain their role, since I have explained it by myself. And before we hop on to our first segment, so we have sort of a permanent joke master, and I would request our Madam President to just tell us a few jokes.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and no guests, what do you call a sleeping bull? What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer. A bulldozer. Okay. Through the woods. When one of them cries out, "Snake, run." His companion laughs at him. "Oh, relax. It's just a baby," he says. "Don't you hear the rattle?" What do you gift a hunter for his birthday? What do you give a hunter for his birthday? A birthday pheasant. And why was the cat sitting on top of the computer? Why was the cat sitting on top of the computer? To keep a watch on the mouse. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. So we are just on time, so it's 6:50 and we are moving towards our first speaker. Our first speaker is TM Muzammil, and TM Muzammil will be evaluated by TM Hina Ali. TM Hina, can you please read the objectives of the speech of TM Muzammil?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening again. Today, Toastmaster Muzammil is delivering his project evaluation and feedback, and he is doing the first speech from that project. His objectives are, or rather the purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during the club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. The time for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. I wish you all the best. Over to you, Toastmaster Muhammad Muzammil Sheikh.
It was my ninth class when everyone around me, my family, my teachers told me that this time your exams are going to be very tough and very, very challenging, because this time you are going to appear in the board exams. So my mind was mad that the higher numbers you get, the more competent you are. So I was scared and I was frightened, but I tried my best and I worked really hard and I appeared for my exams. And after a couple of months, when my result was announced, I still remember that day when I was offering my Asr prayer inside the mosque. And right after I finished my prayer, I just got a feeling inside my heart that this time.
Excuse me, Toastmaster Muzammil. Is his voice clear? Anyone can confirm?
It's there's a little bit of an echo, DTM Talha.
Is it audible though?
But it's not extremely clear. Muzammil, maybe if you could either increase the volume on your mic or your computer. Are you using a computer or a mobile device?
I'm using a computer.
Yeah,
Just come a little closer. I believe it's much. Yeah.
It's fine now if I'm closer.
Yeah, it's fine now.
It's very good when you're that close, but yeah.
Maybe you can change.
Yeah, change the frame a little bit.
Angle a little bit, and left over, or would you continue from where you left off?
Excuse me. Could we request him to please start again?
All right. So please start again. Yeah.
Okay. I'm starting again. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, it's much better now. So you can start again. Thank you so much, and apologies for that.
Okay. No problem. It was my ninth class when everybody around me, my family, my teachers told me that this time your exams are going to be very tough and very, very challenging. So my mind was mad that the higher numbers you get, the more competent you are. So I was scared and I was frightened, but I tried my best and I worked really hard and I applied for my exams. And after a couple of months, when my result was announced, I can still remember that day when I was offering prayer inside the mosque, my Asr prayer, and right after I finished my prayer, I got a feeling inside my heart that this time I am going to ace my exams. I then exited the mosque and I was going towards my home. I took out my phone and saw a message from my teacher. My teacher wrote that, "Congratulations, you have gotten A+ with 80.5%. Congratulations, Muzammil." Reading that, I was absolutely elated. I was over the moon that yes, I did it finally. My family was happy, my teachers were happy, and everyone around me sent their felicitations to me. I thanked Allah and moved on. Then comes the second level of my life, the intermediate level. I chose pre-engineering as my subject. In my intermediate life, the first year of my college went absolutely horrible. When the result was announced, my percentage was 58%. Yes, you heard it right. It was a straight decline from 80 to 58%. Knowing that I was distraught. It was an excruciating moment for me. But I had to move on. Then, in the second year of my college, I was blessed with some wonderful and capable teachers who told me that Muzammil, never ever in your life rush for the numbers. Always strive for the learning and always study for the learning. My teachers worked really hard over me, and I worked really hard, and I burned the midnight oil, and I appeared for my exams. And when the result of my second year was announced, the percentage excitingly and interestingly and unexpectedly was 68%. Yes, it was a straight increase of 10%. So I was very happy and I kept the same approach of learning. Then comes the third level, the university life. In my university life, I changed my subject from engineering to economics and international relations because I was not happy with engineering at all. So I, in my university, kept the same approach of learning and not just regurgitating the concepts. But after some time, I got to know that many of my classmates, batchmates, are working as an internee in some organizations, and they had also worked as volunteers. After knowing that, since I had never been any internee in any organization, so I was thinking that they are much better than me because they are also working along with their studies and are at least making some money, at least for themselves, if not for their families. So I was very impressed and inspired, and I thought that I should also go for the same and I should also start working along with my studies. But this was very challenging for me because all my time was utilized in my assignments and my projects, and I didn't get enough time to do any other thing other than my studies. So I was confused and I was distracted that what should I do? One day I went to my friend and asked him that, tell me, how do you manage all this? I mean, how do you manage your job along with your studies? Is it even manageable? He replied, what's the big deal in it? Just go to your toppers, the toppers in your class or your seniors. Ask them about the assignment. They will send it to you. Just copy it, just paraphrase it, and then just submit it. What's the big deal? Done, class. I said, wow, really? I mean, is it what they do? No, they can't be better. I mean, they are not even honest with themselves. They are sitting to get a degree. This can't be me. I cannot compromise my learning over my job. Toastmasters, despite that, I sometimes think that whether it is their approach which is right or if it is mine. And only the time would answer that. Over to you. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, TM Muzammil, for a great speech. So our next speaker will be TM Tala bin Hamid. Tala bin Hamid will be delivering speech, "Nothing Can Kill a Black Hole." And he will be evaluated by no one else but TM Mohammad Asghar, who is enjoying wonderful sea breeze direct from Beach Luxury. So I would request TM Asghar to explain the purpose.
I'm just interested
Yes.
to know the objective of the speech.
Yes.
Tala, you have.
Yes, Toastmaster Asghar, I've just sent that to you. Just check your WhatsApp. Is it possible for you to check? Just yeah, I should have sent it earlier. I forgot about it. So I've just sent it to
It's
you.
not working. It's not working, perhaps.
It is actually, it will take a few seconds.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
there. It's
Yeah.
there. Tala, today you are talking about. Yes. The objective of the speech is to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. And the title of the subject, let me repeat as Master of the Day said it. It is innovative learning level 2, connecting with your audience. Nothing can kill a black hole. Over to you, GTM Tala bin Hamid.
Thank you so much. Can somebody please volunteer to time this one? Yes, I'll be.
I can do it.
So can somebody time this speech?
Just one moment. Just let me check. I think I have the screens. Just 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Screens. Oh yeah, I don't have them in here.
TM Hina, I have ready. It's ready with me. It's okay.
If you want, because you're doing the evaluation, so that's why.
DTM Tala, DTM Saad
No.
mentioned on the chart that he will be timing.
Oh, okay. Saad can do it then. He must have them ready.
All right. Okay, Toastmaster Saad, let me. Can you? Now it is final that you are timing, right?
Yes, I think.
So all right. So Toastmaster Saad, if you can turn on your video without. So
He just left.
oh, maybe he got disconnected.
Yeah.
DTM mice,
So-
I have it's ready. The frames are ready. We can start.
All right, Toastmaster Kareem can do it then.
5 to 7. TM Hina also get ready.
You are muted.
You're,
TM Hina.
you're all
Let's
so
toss a coin.
eager to disqualify
Let's
me.
toss a coin.
Why we didn't take the role on the first place?
All right.
So who is the timer now? TM Hina?
Yes, I think, yeah.
TM Hina,
muted,
can you
TM Hina.
unmute yourself?
TM Hina, you are muted.
Toastmaster,
Yeah.
okay, Toastmaster Hina is the timer. So, am I audible?
Yes, you are. And visible as well.
Yes. All right. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, it goes without saying that black holes are weird. But let me first conduct a basic arithmetic test with all of you. It will be slightly difficult, but I'm hoping that some of you will be intelligent enough to answer it. What is 1 minus 1? Yeah, please just answer it. Yeah.
Zero.
All right.
Zero.
Zero.
What is 1 million minus 1 million?
Yeah. Zero.
Right. What is infinity minus infinity?
Infinity. Nothing.
Well, it is also zero, given that we are talking about the same kind of infinity. There are different kinds of infinity. What does it have to do with anything? It is a very simple principle of our reality that nothing goes completely into nothingness. So matter cannot be created, nor it can be destroyed. And everything that is created, if it is destroyed, it turns into something else. And we all know it as the law of preservation of energy, where matter and energy remain the same. Now, there is one rogue entity in this universe that continues to challenge our assumptions. And what is that? Black holes. Black holes were theorized to exist by Albert Einstein when he came up with his general theory of relativity. And it was just a mathematical reality for decades until our instruments got good enough that we started detecting evidence of black holes all around us. And a few years ago, we managed to even photograph one. And today, getting to see a black hole is a routine practice. But did you ever think, how can we see a black hole? By definition, black hole is an area with such high gravity that not even light can escape. So it's just like Karachi Toastmasters Club. When you join, you cannot escape. Anything and everything that falls into a black hole becomes part of the black hole. It becomes a singularity. So for example, if a spaceship falls into a black hole, if a chair falls into a black hole, if I fall into a black hole, we all become that one thing, an undefined singularity with infinite density. A density so high that even time stops. So if we do fall into a black hole, we will stop experiencing the passage of time. We won't know what happened to us because time would have stopped. So far, so good. But these physicists, they don't sit still. They don't like peace and quiet. They like to challenge our assumptions. Their minds are continuously working to make us miserable. And one such event happened in 1974 when Stephen Hawking, the famous scientist, came up with the idea that nothing can escape a black hole may be wrong. He said that black holes should emit a set of particles called the Hawking radiation. Now, even if you are not sufficiently aware of theoretical physics, we all know that black holes are bodies of infinite density and mass, and that means that nothing can escape them, not even light. But tell me, many of us have seen the pictures of black holes, and it's always a void surrounded by bands of matter and energy. Isn't that true? That is the usual form that a black hole takes. Now, what do we actually see is not the black hole itself. It is the event horizon. The event horizon is a zone around the black hole, which is just on the border of its gravity well. So if I am on the event horizon, I will not fall into the black hole because I'm too far away from it, but I cannot escape the black hole as well because I'm not far enough. So I will continue to circle the black hole. Example, our moon. Our Earth is not a black hole, but every body with gravity has an event horizon. So the moon is in orbit around us because it is not close enough to fall to Earth, but it is not far enough to escape away from us. Similarly, Earth is in orbit around the sun, and things are in orbit around the black hole exactly because of this reason. But here it gets weird. What is Hawking radiation? Imagine there is nothingness. Remember, 1 minus 1 is 0. So for example, this is 1 and this is minus 1. Combine them and they annihilate each other. It's 0. Out of this 0, particles are created. One is positive, one is negative. One falls into the black hole and one escapes from the black hole. Yes, that happens. That actually happens. Particles spring out of nothingness, out of the quantum field, and they actually escape the black hole. But only one escapes the black hole, one falls into the black hole. And this creates a non-compliance of preservation of matter and energy. So what happens then? There's a reduction in mass of the black hole. Yes, you read that right. For no reason at all, the black hole loses its mass, and it is projected that the black hole can completely disappear. Conveniently enough, it will do so in around 20 billion years. So there's no way to test this hypothesis. So yes, nothing creates particles that kills black holes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
It was wonderful, I must say. And I was totally glued to the content and try to digest as much as possible. So some of the best thoughts here after such a long time. So our next prepared speech is from TM Kareem Meghani. TM Kareem Meghani will be evaluated by TM Rabia Zishan. TM Rabia Zishan, can I request you to please state the purpose of the project of TM Kareem Meghani?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Naveed Aslam. I am sure that I'm audible and visible. Toastmaster Kareem Meghani is doing his pathway engaging humor. His project today is from level 2, the project 2, Know Your Sense of Humor. The speech is titled 32 to 50. The purpose of this project statement is for the member to determine their style of humor and apply it to a speech that centers around a central message. The member completing this project is working to develop their ability as a humorous speaker and to better understand their own sense of humor. The member will deliver a well-organized speech. The speech should not be a report on the content of Engage Your Audience with Humor project. Toastmaster Kareem Meghani, 32 to 50.
Sorry,
Thank
you were
It's a project two.
sorry.
It's a project two. It's the connect with the audience. I think I sent the evaluation sheet, TM Rabia.
Yes, that's the evaluation sheet you gave me.
It's the evaluation sheet is showing engaging with humor.
Yep.
Second project is connect with the audience.
Okay.
I
So
delivered
connecting with
Karachi
the audience. In this project, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani will make sure that he does not only speak to us, but he connects to us. His project is all about delivering a speech in which he is able to keep the audience in mind and to make sure that he makes a connection with us. So Toastmaster Kareem Meghani, 32
Actually,
to 50.
This is quite humorous.
Actually, it's the same project as I just did, where correct me if I'm wrong, Toastmaster Kareem. It's supposed to be
connect
the
the
project
audience.
where you speak on an unfamiliar topic, right?
It's an unfamiliar topic, and I just need to connect with you all. As you don't know me,
so
this is something new for you.
We don't know you.
So
We saw you for the first time.
So
Yes,
I've
we
just,
do
I've
not
just,
know DTF Dalal Toastmaster Kareem.
I've just shared the sheet with Toastmaster Rabia.
Did you share it with me?
Okay, so can I
just
start?
did.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
Connect with the audience. Yes, I got it. And I
Should I
could
start?
not- No, you have to wait now because TTM Thala wants me to announce the exact project details. Wait.
Yeah,
Let
that's
me
good.
open it.
Yeah, we are not making it easy for you.
Yes.
I can tell you that
And we
the
need to
last
go. We need to go past our 3-hour time. So, so we need to do this. Yes. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. The member completing the project is practicing the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. To do this, the member presents a topic that is new or unfamiliar to the club members. So Toastmaster Kareem will be connecting with us on an unfamiliar topic. Let's see how he connects with us. 32 to 50, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani, 5 to 7 minutes of speech. The stage is finally yours.
Okay. When you hear the subject 30 to 50, if I ask you, what comes to your mind?
Waste.
Growing up.
Waste.
Growing up. Somebody said waste.
I hope not.
Yes. Stupidity. Stupidity.
It's stupidity.
From immaturity to maturity.
Immaturity. Okay.
Growing old. Middle age.
Thing.
Midlife crisis.
Wow.
Temperature.
What the number
Turning
30
40 plus.
50 connects you so much. Wow. My first objective is met. Finally. Toastmaster the day, dear Toastmasters and guests. And I think that, I need to connect with you. Yes. 32 to 50. Let's guess. When I was young, and when I thought that I am young, I was tall. You saw me a few days ago. And imagine the first thing is first time purchasing clothes for myself. And it's a disaster for me always. You never find clothes in the market. But my mamu is really tall like me, my uncle. So till 10th grade, I was just wearing his clothes. So I never experienced shopping. But when I'll go there, I will find that what kind of jeans will come to me, what kind of t-shirt I will wear. Mamu is there. Mamu also similar height, similar weight, something like this. And mom will always put a belt. So I never know what is the number 32. Now you guessed? That's the first time I knew that my pant size, my waist size, 32. It was an experience and never got the length. And we are going every market, every shops and everything. 32, 32, 32. Everybody said, sir, 32, but your length should be somewhere around 38, 36 also, not 42 or 44 or 46. So I was wearing kind of briefs, not briefs, I can say, Bermudas, kind of jeans all my college life. And then this 32 journey continued for all my 11th grade, 12th grade, 30, I think BCom, part 1, part 2. I was 32. My wife knew. I was asking, when I asked my wife that, you saw me when I was in my BCom. You remember me? Said, yeah. You were like a stick, tall stick. I said, but I was still 32. I can see the heroes right now, they are 28, 30, but 32. No, you are not looking fat. You are like a stick. Until now, your hands look like sticks. No muscles, at least grow something, but that's another subject. So connecting the audience again with this 32 continued. And the next step went when I reached to 36 and then 38 in next 4 years. You know what happened? I went from Karachi, Saudi Arabia, 4 years. Wow, the cheese naans and the Saudi meal, the khabsa and chapli kebabs also, because there was a Pakistani area, the niharis, the halims, wow. 4 years, finished the contract, came back for the shopping experience now, because now it's my wedding. It became 38. Wow, that's a good journey, yes? And it was interesting because this all 38 was telling me the niharis and the chapli kebabs and everything. And that was something. And then getting married. I don't know what is the connection of marriage with the waist size. I can tell you, some married guys are in the house. Tell me exactly, you get married the first day and the first year. What is your waist size in 1 year? I don't know. It's the dawats, it's the biryanis, all the family members are hosting us. I don't know what. It became 42. 42 in 1 year. Can you imagine? I still play sports, but it's growing, it's growing, it's growing. What happening to me? And then the journey continued. Son came first year. I was holding him all the time, working hard every day to keep my son with me and playing with him. 3 years, 48. Wow. Since then, I'm trying to maintain 48 to 50. Can you imagine the 16 years? My son will be 11, on 11th August, he'll be 16. And that's the journey. 50. I was just checking it when I was in Pakistan in diners, right? And said that, your trousers now become 50. Alhamdulillah, with 50, my length is there. Diners, they said they can arrange good trousers for you. So 50 is a good number. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not 50 yet, but my waist size is 50. Connected with you, married people, that's life. Another one important thing, when the doctor seen my 50, he told me, Karim, now it's time to walk, man. Do some exercise. What is this? I said, sir, I don't know, 48 to 50. I'm trying to maintain it from my son birth till now. He said, if you want to be 50, then keep maintaining 50 or less. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, TM Kareem Meghani. Now we understand the journey from 32 to 50. It's quite interesting. So moving up to the line is we have our next speaker, TM Mufaddal Murtaza. TM Mufaddal Murtaza will be evaluated by TM Shakil Ahmed. TM Mufaddal will be delivering up his presentation, Mastery Level 2, Effective Body Language, the Will and Its Way. So I would like to request TM Shakil Ahmed to please state the purpose of the speech. TM Shakil.
Sorry, I was mute. Thank you, Naveed. Today I'm evaluating TM Mufaddal Murtaza. Mufaddal Murtaza is giving a speech whose topic is the will and its way. His pathway is presentation mastery, level 2 and presentation 2. The objective of his speech and purpose of his speech is effective body language. The time period of his speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The topic is the will and its way. Toastmaster Mufaddal Murtaza, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I just wanted to confirm that am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
You are audible and visible, but I think you have the same issue as our first speaker has, a little echo. So can you come a little bit closer?
just 1 minute, just 1 minute. Okay, how is it now? Is it fine?
Better, yeah.
Okay, I'll try to keep myself closer to the mic. Okay, the timer. Can I start now? Bernard F. said in one of his poems, to fulfill God-given task, you'll need to sacrifice to obey. No matter what verbs are, if there's a will, there's a way. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I'm about to tell you one of the events in my life which led me to believe this phrase. How there was a will for me and how I scratched the way out for it. And I'm very elated that I will be sharing this story with all of you. When I completed my graduation, I was actually hunting for a job. Just like all universities, when you go into the university, they tell you that when you will graduate, all the companies will be waiting for you with open arms and they will say, come, Mufaddal, I will hire you. And the same was fed in our minds as well, that when we were studying, we thought it's not a problem. As soon as I graduate, I'll get the job within a week. But that was not the case. As I graduated, I went into the market and I saw I was not getting the job. I was unemployed for 8 whole months. And the frustration level was getting bigger and bigger day by day. My field, which is petroleum engineering, is so unique that I was not in a position to set myself into any other field. That was the bitter part at my end. So in order to reduce the frustration level, what did I do? that I started to teach tuitions, just like all the unemployed people do for bread and butter. When I started to give tuitions, I felt that this is good. Okay, I'm getting some money out of it. That's good for my bread and butter. And luckily, fortunately, I got one job, which was not in Karachi, that was in Islamabad. So I moved for that job. Now, since that was a training position, the stipend was so low that I realized I will not be able to overcome my expenses. So what did I do? That, okay, I was giving tuition in Karachi, let's start giving tuitions in Islamabad as well. So I started to hunt for tuitions over there as well and started for giving tuitions in Islamabad as well. And that was covering my expenses. After some years, things got better and I was not able to manage the timing. So I left the tuitions and I focused completely on my job. Now, as years passed on, I realized that there was a gap in my professional career. What gap? That I felt that I'm not able to apply for better jobs. I'm not able to promote myself in a better way for the reason that I had left my educations at the bachelor's level. So what did I do? That I thought that now I should go for a master's program. I started to hunt for some master's program. I started to do my research, and then eventually I landed myself to an option which was fruitful for me in a way that I didn't want to leave my job, and I also wanted to do the master's as well. Unfortunately, in Islamabad, no university was there who was offering masters in petroleum engineering. As I told you, that the field was very unique. None of the university was offering that program. So I found one university very far from our country in Edinburgh, Scotland, and the name of the university is Heriot-Watt, and it offers a distance learning program. In that you just do your study, all the things online. You study in Pakistan, you give your papers in the British Council when the paper is exactly in campus, and you get the same degree. But when I downloaded the brochure and I read the fees, I said, this is not going to work. It was £1,200 for one paper, and I had 10 papers together. But since there was a will in my heart and I wanted to do it, I thought if I can do this master's online, why I cannot opt for online tuitions? I started to work on this. That I learned I learned from online tuitions, and I'll pay my master's fee through that. Though this was really vague and this was really in the gray area, but I started to do this homework, and I ordered a digital pen and pad from AliExpress and started to hunt for online tuitions. And do you believe from where did I get my first online tuitions? I got it from OLX. In OLX website, you have a category for education and classes, and I was just randomly moving over there, and I saw a person who was looking for online tuitions over there. And I called him, hello, do you need a tutor? He said, yes. And I said, I'll do it. And I shared my profile, we exchanged our information, and I got that tuition. And since then, I was tutoring from my comfort zone. And things started to turn the tables. I got more and more into online tuitions. I started to search for some more online platforms like PrepPlay, Schooling. I made my profile and I got more students. And coincidentally, yesterday was my last papers of my master's. Yesterday, I did my last paper for my master's. So just to share you the story that there was a will, and when there's a will and you start to work out on it, the way comes out for you. And this is not only for online tuitions, it's for everything in life. When you think for something, just jump into it and the ways will come out for you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Wonderful speech, TM Mufaddal. So just do it. That's what you have just described. Before we move forward, we actually have completed this segment with lightning speed. And I would now request timer to please, if everyone qualifies.
Actually, Toastmaster Latif is due to join. Most probably, he will be joining after the table topics. He is just driving home. So this segment will be completed officially after he delivers his speech. So don't be so happy. It's not complete yet. So after he delivers his speech, maybe then we can look at the timing and float the poll for speaker.
Sorry, your voice cut off in between, but I do understand that
Yeah,
this
actually,
is not
sorry.
completed.
Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah, it's not completed. Toastmaster Latif will join after the table topic session. He will deliver his speech, and after that, we can check the timings and float the poll for best speaker.
Wonderful. Then we have to invite our table topic master, and our table topic master is TM Rabia, TM Mariam Akhtar.
No, actually, it's Toastmaster Hiba Reis Khan. Toastmaster Mariam is the table topics evaluator.
Yep. Sorry for that. So our table topic master is TM Hiba. I would like to invite TM Hiba for over to you, TM Hiba. TM
Okay.
Hina, are you saying you have raised your hand? So do you want to say something?
Yes, I was requesting if we could have, if we're in good time, if we could maybe take a 7 to 10 minute break for Maghrib Namaz, if that's possible. Otherwise, it's okay. I'll just step away for a few minutes and I'll be back shortly.
I think we've had a couple of speakers withdrawal, so I believe we can perhaps go away on a 5 to 10 minute break if the president and TMOD agree.
Or why not?
So we
Yeah,
can
it's
come back
7:40
at
exactly.
7:50.
7:50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7:50. All right. Toastmaster Naveed? Yeah. So Toastmaster Latif is back. So I believe now we can continue with the prepared speeches and then hand over to Table Topics Master. All right. You're muted.
Do we still have the evaluator? Let me just check.
Yeah. We do.
So, oh yeah. So can we start, because we still have 4 minutes. Can we ask Latif to start? Yeah. So our next speaker is TM Latif Mansoor Ali.
Sorry, we need to make sure Toastmaster Rabia is online.
I'm here. You can start.
All right.
TM Latif will be evaluated by TM Talha bin Hamid. So I would request Talha bin Hamid to explain the purpose and objective of the speech of TM Latif Mansoor Ali.
And before that, I will request Toastmaster Fadil to take over the timing for this one. And so, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali, the person you see getting properly dressed up and doing his hair, he's Toastmaster Latif. And today, he will be delivering his project, which is Evaluation and Feedback Project 1. The pathway is team collaboration. Project is Project 4. Target of the speaker is very simple. They are to deliver a simple 5 to 7 minute speech, which is expected to have all the ingredients of a Toastmaster speech. The feedback that they receive from this speech, they will be expected to incorporate in the next speech, which will be part 2 of this project. And it can be the exact same speech, or it can be a different speech. So everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Latif. Trickery, Toastmaster Latif. Toastmaster Mufadil, I hope you're timing.
Yes, I'm timing.
All right. So 5 to 7 minutes.
Way back in 2005, I recently joined a Scouts group, a group where we are always giving volunteer service. And then by default, I got into 2 more volunteerism roles. One, that was every festival of our community, we have to make a party kind of dinner for them. So it's like a food committee, which involves serving and everything. And last, which I by default got enrolled, was the service of transport. There is nothing wrong in voluntary service, but I had to pay some expense to it. And that expense was I stopped growing in my company. I stopped giving time to my family. And moreover, in this room, I believe everyone is more about the bank balance. I even forgot the spelling of bank balance. The reason is I was too much occupied of voluntary service that I forgot that I have a work which pays me a paycheck of a value. If you are thinking, ladies and gentlemen, I repeat, if you are thinking that I am enforcing you to quit volunteerism, no, not here. I'm enforcing you to live a balanced life. fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good warm evening to you all. When I look back on those many years, which is almost comes together to almost 18 years, I figure out that by default of working, I have lost a respect also, because these leaders over there, they were not taking me as of like, my time and my efforts are bringing some result. They were bringing it all this like, let's enforce some new members, let's bring out some others into it. And I found out myself that Latif is missing. My son has 16 years of age, but I found out that, okay, now I lost that age where their fathers used to take off for their kid's birthday, for the newborn, like I'm a new father. The life happiness were just no value for those things. And today when I see my colleagues taking off saying, okay, tomorrow is my big day, or my son is having his first birthday, I used to just think, will I get that time back? Yes, I will. But when I'll be having a grandchildren, and if my son opts for an option of family planning and a lot of time left, then I have to just take tasbih and decide what's going on in future. So ladies and gentlemen, why I use voluntary service? Because there are some voluntary people also around us who makes us this trap. And that trap is our motivational speakers. These motivational speakers, they always motivate us saying, look for that 2% who have successful rate. Or look for that 5% who have successful rate. Or maybe only 1%. By now, you people have realized that I am not from that 5, 1 or 2. So I was giving a funda to others, the young youth people, who suddenly I asked, what you want to be in future? And she said, a teacher. I love the answer, but I was thinking, a teacher? Is it worth for this student to look like that? I wanted them to indulge in their life and profession. So I said, look, if you are just thinking of being a teacher, just cancel it right now. Because if you want to be a teacher somewhere called head of department, a principal, someone gives more value, or you have a team of people working under you. Or else, one of the person I asked, what you want to be? And they said, I want to just go Canada, look at life. They have a lot of focus in it. So I just told that person, if you are looking life in Canada easy and simple, I'm sorry. You have to work double the time you have been living here. And that also maybe if God is with you, you might be a successful person. Overall, how I got this idea was, this is the tricky question. I had a lot of time and finally I got the answer. Tricky question, a tricky answer. Look for that 99% people who are not successful. Look for that 95 people who are not successful, or look for those unsuccessful people and follow them. Now your second question will come, why follow them? Just do what they have, just don't do what they have done. In simple words, you will find a lot of people telling you about their failures and you be more protective on what not to do. If you can keep the possibility of mind and simply embrace yourself, simply look into yourself, I'm sure the outer life is not that peaceful than the inner yourself. What you want are maybe 4 things in life. Just go and go beyond those things, demanding your skills, demanding risking your life, risking your family and friends. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. Thank you, Team Latif. As usual, a wonderful speech. It comes directly from your heart, and I can relate. I can sense it. Wonderful use of word, wonderful use of gestures. So with this, we are completing our first segment, which is prepared speech segment. So if I may request our timer, if everyone qualifies.
The speeches that I timed were all qualified. Toastmaster Hina tells me that as per the new speech contest rules, I also qualify with exactly on the dot. And what about Toastmaster Latif, Toastmaster Muqaddim? What was his time?
Yeah, Toastmaster Latif took 7 minutes and 15 seconds. So if
7 minutes and
15 seconds.
15.
1-5, yeah.
All right. So I think that makes, yeah. So that makes everyone qualified. I'll be floating the poll, and thankfully it will be through Zoom. So and not Google Forms. So everyone, please vote.
Is Toastmaster Asghar at Beach Luxury?
Yeah, he's dodged every one of us, and he's enjoying the sea breeze over there.
Why he shut down the camera?
How is the weather there?
It's raining.
We need to have a meeting outside at Beach Luxury in the rain. Are we waiting for the poll?
Actually, it will take some time because the poll mysteriously disappeared. So I'll need to repopulate it. And in the meantime, we can continue with the meeting.
Yeah. So let's then move to our second segment, which is the table topic segment. So I would like now to hand over to our table topic master, TM Hiba Rais Khan. So over to you, TM Hiba Rais Khan, for table topic session.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Liberation is the act of setting someone free from imprisonment, slavery, or oppression. Okay, my first speaker would be TM Zara Ibrahim. Can you please unmute yourself and switch on your camera?
PM Zara is already in green. I just saw the agenda and I thought let's have that dupatta, which I brought like from Manto, and I just got that. And I also have seen the word of the day. So thank you very much for giving the opportunity.
Okay, so in a society where women's rights are not respected, how one should pursue women liberation? In a society where women's rights are not respected, how one should pursue women liberation? Please use word of the day.
Thank you very much, table topic master, for giving such an insightful topic. So we're the society where women so where it's not respected, so I would say that society won't work that way. I'm missing on the few words you spoke, so moreover, can you just repeat the topic? I'm very sorry.
No issues. No issues. In a society where women rights are not respected, how one should pursue women liberation?
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, a society where women rights are not respected, so how one should be liberated? So, it's a very important question because at times there are a lot of things where where the women especially don't get justice, or I would say, so moreover, I think what I have seen, so the people also take the women especially take I think not that right path as well. So there are at times when we talk about what I would say that Aurat March, right? So we know how it goes. So many of the gentlemen gets offended as well that about those slogans and all. So I think there are a lot of times for for having that right, I would say, the respect. So there are a lot of things which needs to be, I would say, covered in a way that they should be given an opportunity. The people who are given that opportunity in terms of social media, so they should use it very wisely. I would, and this is very important. And moreover, if that opportunity is given, and so that those people can highlight the problems of the people who are not that influential, or I would say who are not getting that opportunity, so that should be given or maybe respected in such a way. So that's all from my side, and it gives that elated, I would say, sense of sense to that those people. Thank you very much.
Okay, my second speaker is guest Sana Nasir. Can you please switch on your camera and unmute yourself? Guest Sana Nasir, are you there? Okay. And move on to the next.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Yeah, I can listen to you all.
Can you please switch on your camera if it's possible?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Describe the most liberating moment in your life.
Most?
Describe the most liberating moment in your life.
The most liberating moment. I'm not getting this. Can you please elaborate this?
Okay. By liberation, I mentioned that that liberation means the act of setting someone free from imprisonment, slavery, or oppression. So, was there a moment that you ever felt stuck in something? You felt, that you felt uncomfortable with something, or something made you uneasy, and you thought that you were stuck at one particular moment. You just wanted to get out of that moment, maybe a place, maybe with a group of people,
So maybe getting someone to oppress something out of it, like that?
No, I meant by most liberating moment mean that was there okay, tell me, are you a university going student?
Yes.
Okay, so was there any
This
moment
is my
that
really first time, so I'm really confused and nervous. I really don't know. So really sorry for this.
Okay, no, it's not an issue. By most liberating moment, I mean that was there ever a moment that you ever felt stuck at some place? Stuck means I meant
Stuck
that
in situation in
yes,
some
in a situation
typical
with a group of people.
By typical standards, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me think of it. I'm not right.
Okay, I think I should move on.
Actually, what we can do perhaps is that you can move on to the next topic, and then we can come back to guest Sana, and she can speak. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you so much for this favor.
Okay, no issues. Okay, and now move on to the next speaker, TM Asghar. Can you please unmute yourself and switch on your camera? TM Asghar, are you there?
Yes, he is there.
Okay. But Haji, okay. Okay. I would now say that animal liberation sparked off a revolution in the way we think about animals. Does animal right exist? I'll repeat it once more. Animal liberation sparked off a revolution in the way we think about animals. Does animal right exist?
Yes, I totally agree with your statement. I think with the passage of time, we have realized that it is when it comes to the liberation, it is not only the liberation of human being, it is the liberation of many other animals. As the importance of the right gained prominence of human rights, in the same way, at least in European countries, there is a revolution that the animals should be liberated and no harm should be given to animal. I think this is one of the reasons that certain countries even legislated uh, against the liberation of the animal, and there are rules, regulations how to treat animals, or there are punishment if you violate those rules while treating the animals. So in a way, I totally agree with you that when it comes to the revolution, when it comes to change, I think this also includes the liberation of animals. And this idea is slowly gaining ground in our part of the world as well. But yes, overwhelming majority does not think or believes that animals should be treated equally, or their liberation should be importance. But we have come a long way, and I'm optimist that one day come that we will rethink about, sacrificing animals, and we probably in coming 150 or 200 years will go and become what I call the vegan, or the at least the vegetarian, if not the vegan. So yes, it is the end from my side. Over to you, table topic master.
Okay, now I move on to my next speaker. Is TM Imran Rana there? I don't think so. Okay. TM Ali Zargam, can you unmute yourself? Unmute and switch on the camera.
Hello.
Hello, can
Can
you
you hear
switch
me?
on the camera?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Excuse me, everyone who hasn't voted, please vote. We have a tough situation.
Okay. How should we seek liberation from our own fears? How should we seek liberation from our own fears? Over to you, TM Ali.
Okay. Actually, I don't believe in liberation. I don't think that anyone is free. We all are confined in our fear, in our laws, and in our Islamic laws. societal pressure. I don't think that anyone of us is liberated or free. So we have to liberate ourselves to be confined in the set of rules which are standards and which are right for us. And as far as we talk about fear, we should be from our fear by struggling and fighting against our fear. Like when we join Toastmaster Club, we all have. I don't know that we all, but I'm talking about myself. I fear speaking, so that is the way we can be free from this fear by practicing and fight with it. Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to the last speaker, PM Ali Hasnain. Can you unmute yourself and switch on the camera?
Hello.
Yes. Fine. Okay. Racism still exists in human societies. Racism still exists in human societies. Is racism still a hindrance for a just and liberating society? Is racism still a hindrance for a just and liberating society? Please use word of the day.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to everyone. First of all, I feel elated. I saved 1,000 rupees today. I was in Karachi planning to attend the meeting. I saved on my commute and the hotel charges. So feeling elated for that. And secondly, talking about the racism, I think as a society, we are evolving with the passage of time. We see there are a lot of NGOs and different campaigns working to ensure that there is no racism. People are equal in the society. But practically, I think we are far behind since we are divided into races. At global level, it's generally about black and white and desis. If you talk about our national level, we are divided into provinces, regions, different dialects, different sects. With different groups, we are divided. That is part of racism. I think there are a lot of people making efforts to bridge the gap between these groups, decrease the racism to the level, like the minimum level as low as possible. But still, a lot of effort is required, and I think it won't end. The racism won't end until we start the effort at our very own level, and I don't think people at individual level are really concerned about it. So until we make effort as at individual level and at the national level, the concept of racism will continue to survive and prosper until we take the steps to curtail it at our very own individual level. Thank you so much.
Okay. I think yes, Sana has vanished, so I can't go back to her. That I think that's about it. So over to you. And before I hand back the charge to the TMOE, have all the speakers qualified, Mr. Timer? So are all the speakers qualified?
Actually, just give me a second. Wait. There was one speaker who slightly exceeded their time by 5 seconds. So would you like to allow that, Madam President?
And who is the speaker?
Toastmaster Zahra.
Sure, why not?
All right. So here's the poll. Everyone, please vote. And thank you so much.
Okay. And now I hand back the charge to the Toastmaster of the evening, TM Naveed Aslam. The stage is yours.
Thank you. So, are you waiting for the poll or what? Sorry, are we waiting for the poll?
No, we are not. I think
We can go ahead.
Okay. So our next segment is evaluation. And I would like to invite our evaluator of the meeting, Rabia Zishan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Naveed Aslam. Journal evaluation of the meeting. I really love this part of evaluation in Toastmasters, and I'm sure that all of us are seasoned Toastmasters now, and I don't need to go into the detail why it is important, but this is the part where we learn the most. When even if our speech is not being evaluated, someone else's speech is being evaluated, it's the most learning part of Toastmasters meeting. Let's start with the prepared speech evaluations first. I would like to call Toastmaster Asghar Ramzan, Mohammad Asghar, if he will evaluate DTM Tala's speech. Nothing can kill a black hole. Yes, Toastmaster Hina. Yes, I know. I was asked to call him first.
Actually, Toastmaster Asghar requested to go first.
Yes. There's a slight change. But
someone mentioning me?
Yes, I'm mentioning you, Toastmaster Asghar.
Okay. I'm sorry, my actually mobile laptop battery also expired, so I'm trying to do it from my memory.
Okay.
DTM Tala. I mean, how one should evaluate DTM Tala. Anyway, the way you put a series of questions. Thank you for this deliberate attempt to drag your unfamiliar and prime them to listen you about a topic which is one of the complex and complicated topic this world has. At least I'm trying to understand it since when I was in class 8. So thank you to explain your topic in a storytelling manner. After your arithmetic questions, you came up with the principle of reality. And then you, in a very simple way, took us to the main topic, how it was theorized and how it was detected, and then lastly, how it was photographed. This is the first time that I heard about black hole in a very simple and understanding manner. Here is my appreciation you. I don't know, had I been in your place, I would have not selected this topic for unfamiliar audience, but I'm sure you took it as a challenge and you achieved your objective to connect yourself to the unfamiliar topic. to the unfamiliar audience with this complex topic. Now, I can't see any weaknesses in you, but being a part of Evaluator and Toastmaster Club, I was just forcing myself to come up a couple of observations. One of the things that it is my personal opinion, I may be wrong, most of the time I am. When you talk about the scientific things, there are certain terminologies, for example, density, particle, and mass. What about those audience who are coming from non-scientific background, or even people have a difficulty to understand what is the conservation of energy theory? I think these are some areas which perhaps may have been explained in order to strengthen that connection with your audience. And lastly, I wish you would have come up with a couple of slides, at least to show us some of the visual sides of the black holes and define us how we know black hole by its boundary. I mean, it's very interesting statement you made, and I came to know that we know black hole not from the black hole, but from its boundaries. Lastly, and it is my request, when you come across the same project in the next pathway, please come up with something called MC squared. I mean, I have been struggling to understand this. Again, from the class 8, I'm unable to understand it. Overall, it was a very, very complicated subject, but thank you to explain it in a storytelling manner. As you explained some of the phenomena, we would have been able to grasp it more than you expect us to do. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asghar. And if that was from the top of your head, I am wondering what would you have done if you were reading from somewhere from your notes. That was an amazing evaluation. And just as I was telling before, you get to learn the most when you are hearing people like Toastmaster Asghar evaluating someone like DTM Thalaz's speech. Thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful evaluation.
Sorry, I have to interrupt once again. Apologies for that. All evaluators, please send me a score out of 10. According to you, how strongly the speech adhered to the project title. So score it out of 10. For example, if you think the speech was very close to the project objective, it did not do it that much, you can give a low score. So everyone, please convey, all the evaluators, please convey that score to me.
मैं एक घंटे से पी रहा हूँ
We thought you were alone over there. Now we can sense something.
This meeting is being live streamed.
Okay, so moving on with our prepared speech segment, evaluation of the prepared speech segment. Our next, we will be having Toastmaster Hina Ali, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Muzammal's speech from Persuasive Influence Level 1 Project 4, in search of what matters the most. Let's see if Toastmaster Hina was able to find in the speech what matters the most. Toastmaster Hina Ali, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening again, fellow Toastmasters and Toastmaster Muhammad Muzammil in particular. Today, Muzammil, you were giving the speech, the first of 2 speeches for evaluation and speech back the project. And what I find is, just in this first one, what I really loved was from the beginning, you were prepared. I received your evaluation form. You asked me specifically to observe certain things. So I will talk about those as well as I get on with this. And of course, apologies, I did not mention the title, but a very engaging title indeed. It actually made anybody who would have read it before, I'm sure, look forward to what you had to say. And what an amazing story you took us through. So your title was in search of what matters most. As you went into it, you straight away took us into a story, into a visual that I could see where you were standing and people were standing at you. Even as you were thinking, your parents, your teachers telling you, your exams are going to be really difficult this time. And then we found out you were talking about your board exams and the fact that you worked really hard. What I loved in all this was you opened really well and then you transitioned. It's beautiful for any speech. You transition to the stages of your education and your learnings there. Now, these weren't learnings about science and maths or pre-engineering and any of that. What you learned was what mattered most. And that is the fact that of actually what your professor had said. And that is, it's not about the numbers. It's about what you learn when you're here. So that's amazing. So I loved your story and I loved how you concluded. Then I'll come to your actual delivery. And this is where you specifically asked for feedback. So what I really loved was you used words that kept us engaged and you used simple yet effective gestures to synchronize with what you were saying. I loved when you said, I tried my best. I did my, so you had your fists in. When you spoke, I felt like you were speaking with us. I don't always do this. For the most part, I felt like you were actually looking at us and speaking to us. That was really well done. That's also part of the synchronization. The other thing was your volume as you talked about what you were thinking of when things were happening, when you were digesting things were happening. And finally, that aspect of how your friends, you asked your friends, how are you guys managing this? Your expression, your eyes, and even your vocal variety, your volume at that time was amazing. And when they told you, just ask seniors, how you were disillusioned by what they said. And you said, how are you going to be honest with anybody else if you can't even be honest with yourself? That was very, very powerful. And you did that really well. I loved it, right? So the one thing that I guess I could give you feedback on today is you worked well on those. Testing how you appear on screen before, because we had to actually stop you for your volume and ask you to change your position. Try to do that before the meeting. Just start a meeting or a camera and see and practice that you're getting that. Because other than that, you nailed it, Mr. Amazing. I'm really looking forward to your future speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hina, for that wonderful detailed evaluation. Moving on, we had Toastmaster Karim Meghani give his speech 32 to 50, and I will be evaluating it. So let's start right now. Toastmaster Karim Meghani, you started with a question. And before that, we had a detailed explanation of the project and we had a little fun and laughter. But when you started with the question, you made sure to hear out everyone what they were trying to answer, because we had lots of different ideas of what 32 to 50 means. For example, I felt it was about age, but it wasn't. It was about your waist. Your speech today was filled with humorous and little punches which made us all laugh, and something which we all could relate to. You knew you could connect with the audience because it was a topic which we all relate to, because unfortunately, or I don't know what I should say about it, but our appearance matters to us the most rather than what is inside of us. So no matter if someone is thin or on the heavier side, that is all we are worried about, how we are looking. And that was a good topic because everyone, I'm sure that everyone of us could relate to it. You had amazing body language today. You were continuously moving around the small space that was visible on the screen. So you were on the left, on the right, you were back, you were front. You had amazing hand gestures as well. You made sure to come into the camera and focus when you wanted to make a point. And your voice modulation today was superb. The way you almost shrieked the word 42, when you were telling 42, you made that sound and it really made me laugh. If you would have said it in a very normal tone, I don't think I would have felt the same as I felt when you shrieked it out. So kudos on the body language, the hand gestures, and the voice modulation. And you choose a topic that everyone could relate to. So these are the things that I really very much liked about your speech. And I had to look for places for recommendations because I could not find any when about the delivery of your speech. But when it comes to the project details or the content of this speech, I felt that the project demanded that either you had an unfamiliar audience or a topic that was unfamiliar to us. I do not think you could have find a more familiar topic to any one of us. This is something which we all think about, even considering the part where we are worried about our waist, whether it's going from 32 to 52. But still, we want to eat the nihari and the chapli kebabs and all the haleems and the great food. So this was the most relatable topic which every one of us could relate to. So this was the only you can say point that I had for you, that considering the project description, I did not see it meeting the details of the projects. So it would have done beautifully if it was a humorous speech or any other speech, but I was trying to connect it to the project details and I could not find the connection over there because this was the most familiar topic anyone could talk about. So amazing body language and amazing display of the speech. Just that try to focus on the project details as well. Back to you, journal evaluator. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rabia, for that detailed evaluation. Next after Toastmaster Karim Megani, Toastmaster Mufaddal Murtaza came to give his speech on effective body language, the will and its way. And this was evaluated by Toastmaster Shakil Ahmed. Toastmaster Shakil Ahmed, can you please give your evaluation on Toastmaster Mufaddal Murtaza's speech? Is he available?
Thank you, DM Rabia. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are available.
Okay. I'm elated that I am evaluating DM Mufaddal Murtaza. I observe his confidence level increasing a lot day by day because he started after me and he's improving a lot. Today his topic was the will and its way. First of all, he selected a beautiful topic. I think it's a superb topic and he started very smoothly and he told about his real history and here is his own history, his own educational history, what he had done and how he did his education. And during his bachelor's, he started his job to control his fees. And when he decided to do master's in a specific subject, he found his university in UK and the fees was in pounds. And when he heard the fees, he was very disturbed by that it was too hard to pay this fees. And then he decided, no, then he has to do, and he has to complete his master in the same subject with that university. So then he decided what to do, and then he found tuitions on via OLX. He continued. Then he continued his masters, and after a long time, he completed. He told that he completed his masters yesterday. So his own journey of studying and how to get and how to manage with the fees structure in pounds. It was very good and it was very real story. So we all involved in his real story. Now about his gestures, he used his hand gestures and he also used his space where he was standing. But as the purpose of his speech is effective body language, so one thing I could suggest that he can add some more hand gestures Like when he heard about his fees, that oh, 9,000 pounds or 6,000 pounds was the fees of his masters. He can add at that time, oh my God, and like this, that it's very difficult. So he can add some more gestures, and he can add some more body language. What about overall? His speech is very good, and it's a real translation of translation of his life and a story. When there is a will, there is a way. So this is all about his speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shakil. That was very in detail, and I'm sure Toastmaster Mufaddal will note the points for betterment for the next speech. Next, we had Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali, who showed up at the right moment before we were just about to start our table topics, and he gave his speech evaluation and feedback 1. DTM Talha, would please, you were the evaluator. Trickery.
Thank you so much. Can someone please time me? Otherwise, I'll make myself qualified no matter what.
Toastmaster Hina Ali is timing you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Toastmaster Latif. Today, I must admit that we experienced a different side of you, which we normally don't experience. It was slightly strange, slightly unsettling. And I appreciate your vulnerability and your candidness when you shared an aspect of your life story. Overall, I believe that your project called for, just give me a second. I'll date my notes, I lost them, apologies. Yeah, so your project did not demand much from the speaker, but what it did demand was that the speech should have the basic ingredients of a Toastmaster speech. And since, mashallah, this is your 6th pathway, I believe, so the evaluation will be in keeping with the expectations against that. So first of all, you started exceptionally strongly with a very strong voice. So that was good to see. Normally, your voice is not as strong as we saw today. There was real passion and expression behind that, and that maintained throughout the speech. You used some good humor in the start. For example, you forgetting the spelling of bank balance. The way you arrived at the concept of a balanced life was very well done. You did something that you accused me of doing, that you took this route and that route and then arrived at the balanced life. So obviously I like it. Then you said one sentence which really was bone shaking, and that was Latif was missing. That was really inspiring. Along the way, sometimes we lose ourselves and we forget that we need to be there, not for ourselves, but for those that love us. And lastly, what I liked about your speech was that it was a very gripping story, and stories always work. Improvement areas are more than usual. You use by default a lot, which is perhaps not a good expression. You used expense. You should have used cost of doing certain things. Expense takes your mind back to money, not in terms of emotional cost and everything. You had quite severe grammar issues today. And since you were sitting without any movement, you need amplified expressions in terms of your voice and facial expressions. So the facial expressions were there during the first half of the speech, but then they went missing. And also your voice also turned a little monotonous during the second half. So you had the momentum, but perhaps you lost a bit of it. And during the second half of the speech, where you were embroiled in your story and maybe the negative emotions that came with the consequences of that story. So lastly, you should have highlighted that everyone has a different story. So perhaps not one approach can work with all. So overall, passionately delivered speech that was a candid and shocking life story. Could use some grammatical improvements and could use some more vocal expression. Overall, well done. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha, for that amazing evaluation and running at the end to avoid disqualification. It brings us to the end of evaluation for the prepared speech. Mr. Timer and Toastmaster Hina, has everyone qualified?
Yes, indeed.
Well, Toastmaster Hina.
49 seconds and 49 milliseconds. Awesome. Just in time.
Well, Toastmaster Hina, you were exactly 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And yeah, so for the rest, Toastmaster Rabia exceeded, Toastmaster Rabia did not exceed. And just let me do a correction to the poll. And I launch it. And meanwhile, Toastmaster Rabia, you can continue with the meeting.
Azhar did exceed his time, but
Yeah.
I think that was because he was watching it from a mobile and could not see the timer, so he was going.
Yes, exactly. He exceeded by a few seconds. So, Madam President, since he could not see the time, should we allow him? He exceeded by 10 seconds.
Yes, it's okay. Since you could not see
All
the
right.
time. And I had to ask one more thing before proceeding further. Did anyone of you call my name before this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because I was out somewhere.
Okay. So this means all evaluators are qualified, and DTM Talha will be shortly floating a poll. And meanwhile, we can move on to our next part, which is the table topics evaluation. While we were having the table topic session, I kept wondering why isn't Toastmaster Himba calling Toastmaster Mariam Aftab Kidwai? And it is just now I realized because she was evaluating the table topics, and that is why we didn't hear her table topics today. Toastmaster Mariam Aftab Kidwai, over to you for the table topics evaluation.
Thank you very much. Now I cannot open my camera because if I'll open it, you cannot hear me. And I think right now hearing me is more important.
That's totally fine.
Thank you so much. I am table topic evaluator. I'll start with Zara Ibrahim. Your topic was, in a society where women's rights are not respected, how one should pursue women liberation. Very well written question, I would say. Very well done to the table topic master. Zara Ibrahim, I love your hand gestures. The way you use it, you connect. I really admire you for that. Now, as I have only small time, I would definitely like to give you a point here from where you can improve. That's my purpose. The best thing is that you started off. You take a pause, but then you ask the question. There's nothing bad in it. But once you know the question, proceed further. Our minds work in a way that it only grabs the important points, few points, and we have to make it link. No one knows what you're going to say next. So never rethink of it, what the other person is thinking, or if you're saying it right or wrong. Whatever you say, we'll take it. So whenever you're giving a table topic, be confident and know that you are doing your best. And trust me, you are the best. Now here, I would like to add Sana Nasi. I wish if she would be here, because today we all have a takeaway from her. Is the courage, the bravery, and to ask and repeat and explain the question. And that's the most important thing. Describe most liberating movement. There's no shame in asking to explain the question. And this is what we all do. We never re-ask the question. We all should do. That's a bravo thing. I wish if she should be here, I would have congratulate her for that. I think that's a takeaway for all of us. If we do not understand the question, there's no harm in asking the table topic master to repeat it and to explain it. Next was TM Asgar. What can I say about you? Animal liberation part of revolution. I know that this topic might not be your cup of tea, but the way you explained it, the way you picked up all the points and put them in a row that makes a way to your conclusion was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But from you, I can say and I can expect humor, which I can point was missing. From you, I can expect that. So my only point from you was that. Next was Ali Zargam. How should we seek liberation from our own fear? What a start. I think if I would be there, I might not have done that the way you have started it. Why to feel fear from our liberation? Why do we need that? Very well quoted, very well explained, and the way you have give the points that explain your thought, your main point, and the way you have described it and you have concluded it, very well done and very well put it. Ali Hasnan, so sorry because thanks to this rainy weather, Karachi, the K electrics and everyone, that I can only hear racism exists and I could not, nothing more. So that's a minus point from my side, obviously, as I could not give you any takeaway. But yes, I can give you one that take pauses, think twice, take your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mariam Aftab Kizwai, for that wonderful table topics evaluation. And that brings an end to the evaluation segment and brings us to the segment which makes us feel miserable. The facilitator roles report time. So gear up, everyone. We have our grammarian police and our word master, Toastmaster Muzammil, who will be giving us the roles.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rabia. As a grammarian, I would like to report that most of the speakers were completely spot on today. They were absolutely brilliant in their language, no mistake. But as a grammarian, it is my duty to note every single mistake. So I noticed that only few speakers, 2 to 3, did make grammatical errors, and the errors were basically they were not using the correct forms of verb in the past tense. So and one speaker also made a mistake in which he was talking about the past events, but he did not use the word had. Instead of had, he used has. So these are the mistakes that we should pay heed to. And but I believe that these errors are not something that the speakers do not have any knowledge about. They do know about the forms of verb because they are so basic. The only thing I feel is that they when they are speaking, they become nervous, and in that nervousness they just are not that conscious and they are making those mistakes. So I request you guys that you must be a bit more diligent while delivering your speeches. And this is it for grammarian. And as a word master, I would like to call the names who used the word of the day. These are TM Shakil Ahmed. TM Shakil Ahmed used twice word of the day. And I myself also use this. TM Mufaddal also use this, and TM Ali Hasnan in the table topic session also use this. So these are the names I have, and forgive me if I am missing any. This is it from my side.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Muzammil. Our next facilitator role was a counter, and it was done by Toastmaster Shakil Ahmed today. Toastmaster Shakil Ahmed, please give us your report.
Thank you, TM Rabia. Today as a counter evaluator, you all should be elated after listening the results. So what I have noted that Naveed Aslam has none. Muzammil 1A, no no repeat. Talabin Hamid none. Mufaddil none. Kareem Meghani none. Latif Mansoor Ali 1 repeat. Hina Ali 1 Maryam Aftab none. And Hiba Rais 1 1 Zara Ibrahim 3 2 Muhammad Asghar 1 Ali Zargam 1 1 and myself I think 3 to 4 times and ums. This is all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shakil, for counting our ahs and ums for us. This really helps when we are giving our speeches in the next meeting because we focus on reducing these ahs and ums. So that's a very important role as well. Next, we have the timers report and the vote counter report. DTM Talha bin Hamid.
Well, I refuse to give the vote counter report right now.
Because no one is voting?
No, because it is given when the president invites it.
Okay.
So you're not supposed to invite it. And as far as the timing is concerned, overall, today there was a very interesting trend, and that was that many of the speakers and evaluators finished right on the dot. And, sorry. I think there's something wrong with my connection. Did you say something, Toastmaster Rabia?
No, I did not say anything. Carry on.
All right. So many of the speakers and evaluators were right on the dot today. They utilized their time well, a little too well, because I don't recommend going to the 30-second mark at the end of your evaluation, but I managed to do that in both my speech and my evaluation. So did Toastmaster Hina. And many of other speakers were right on the borderline. Overall, we did well timing-wise. That was because 2 of the speakers withdrew, and we had 5 prepared speeches. So, in fact, right now we are ahead of schedule a little bit. Other than that, nothing special to report. So, over to you, Toastmaster Rabia.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha bin Hamid. Now let's have some fun and a test of our active listening. Toastmaster Hinali with the listener quiz.
Thank you, General Evaluator, and good evening, everybody, again. So today I was your listener or your listening post, and I'm going to check how well you all listened. So let's start with some interesting terms which were used by some of our Toastmasters. Someone said, never work towards numbers, strive for learning. So the person who said it cannot say that they said it, right? Okay. Who said it? None of you are getting it. Muzammil, that's right. Okay. Next, Toastmaster DTM Talha told us that somebody challenged Einstein's theory regarding singularity and the theory of relativity. Who was that person? That's right. Stephen Hawking. That's right. Okay. Next, somebody told Toastmaster Kareem that you were tall like a stick.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Do you all recall all the yummy foods that Toastmaster Kareem had?
Biryani, chapli kebab.
Okay, something of the local
Who can
fare
forget
where he
that?
was at.
I don't, Kapsa or something, I don't know what.
That was
Yes,
in something in
that's
Saudi
right.
Arabia. if I
Kapsa.
don't
Kapsa.
remember.
That's right. It was Kapsa. Okay. And does anybody remember the advice that the doctor gave to Kareem, with which he ended?
Walking.
Reduce it to
Stop at
below
50.
50 if you want to reach 50.
That's right, Toastmaster Ali Hasnan. That's right. Correct. Okay, moving on. Someone up a little bit. Who said I stopped growing in my company, stopped giving time to my family?
Latif Mansoor.
Toastmaster Latif.
That's right, Toastmaster Latif. Okay. Who said those who are given the opportunity should use social media very wisely?
Toastmaster Zara.
That's right, Muzammal, that's correct. Okay. So what was the fee for Toastmaster Mufaddal's exam, each of his exams for his master's in petroleum studies?
It was 1,200 pounds per paper. And there were
That's
10
right.
exams.
Excellent, 1,200 pounds per paper. And when exactly did he say he finished his last paper?
Just yesterday.
Yesterday.
That's right. Great, wonderful. Okay, just for anybody who's interested in finding or giving online tuitions, what were the options that he first found and then he mentioned afterwards?
OLX.
OLX.
Anything else?
Academic.
Yeah, I think there was Prep Place and Mufaddal, there was another one. If you could share that with us.
Schoolie and Prep.
Schoolie and Prep Place. Okay, great. Wonderful. All right. Who said to us, just do it?
Toastmaster Naveed.
That's right. Excellent. You guys are really listening today. Okay. How about somebody said countries have legislated on animal liberation and rights?
It was the
Yeah,
topic
sir.
given. Yeah.
Toastmaster Eba.
Yeah.
Okay. No, she gave the topic. Who said this? Countries have legislated on animal.
TM Asghar. TM Asghar.
TM. That's right. Okay. And now you almost shrieked when you said 42.
PM Kareem Meghani.
Kareem.
No,
His
Toastmaster.
evaluator said that.
Yes.
Toastmaster Rabia said that.
Toastmaster Rabia said that. That's right. Okay. How about our minds work by grasping the keywords?
PM Tala bin Hamid.
No. Come on, think, everybody. This was some really good advice to someone. I think, Zara, you should have been listening carefully.
That TM Mufaddal or I think TM Latif, if I'm not wrong.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think you guys all needed to listen carefully. This was our amazing table topics evaluator, and she was actually giving this feedback to you, Toastmaster Zara, when she was saying, just go with keywords. Okay. And finally, somebody said your statement was really bone shaking.
DTM Tala.
That's right. Excellent. I think you all did great, and that's all from my side. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ali, for taking our quiz of active listening today. I think that is the end of all the role players and all the evaluators, and it's time.
DTM Talha, did Rabia sort of
Yeah, I think
fall off?
she is online still, but there's a connectivity issue just when she was about to deliver her evaluation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's wait for a few seconds. In the meantime, everyone, please vote for the best facilitator. Toastmaster Rabia, are you there?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
welcome
I'm
back.
back. I'm back. So sorry, I think my internet went down, and that is what I was saying when I was referring to that. Unfortunately, we had two speakers withdraw from these slots, and maybe that is because of the rain and the storm and the electricity issues. And at that moment, my Wi-Fi died. So it's so relatable that I'm sure that it must have been a valid reason for them to do it at the very last moment. All the role players were present. We started on time. We took ample time to describe the roles in the starting, which is very good. I would especially like to mention the table topic sessions. Tosma Sahiba Khan, those were very amazing topics. And I would really like to appreciate the fact that when the guest didn't understand the meaning of liberation or what was being asked, you took time to explain it to her. And that was so good because consider myself or consider yourself as being a new member and coming to a meeting, and you might be feeling nervous and stage fright, and you made her feel so comfortable by taking your time to explain the entire topic not once but twice, and then you gave her time to think about it. I'm sure if she would have joined back, she would have given a much better and a very good speech as well. So this is like a lesson for all of us that when we are doing table topic sessions, we should be empathetic of the new guests who are joining, because that is the time, if we feel make them feel welcome and we make them feel special, they might join a Toastmasters club and they learn how it helps us. And you showed what a Toastmasters environment is all about today. So for me, that was the epitome of the entire meeting today. The way you made sure that you had amazing topics related to the theme liberation, and the way you see you made the our freedom is coming on Freedom Day, our Pakistan Day is coming as well. But I feel that if we are liberated from here and here, that is the time when we do our most. As someone said, the greatest force of personal liberation is the decision to widen our circle of compassion and moving from focus on ourself to focus on service. So the moment you stop thinking about yourself and show your compassion towards other and for services for others, that's the moment you will feel liberated. And I think I am a true example for that, because that is the moment I felt liberated, when I started doing work for others who were not actually related to me, and I widened my circle to the entire whoever needed help. And Toastmaster is a great platform for doing that as well, when you become a mentor, a designated mentor to people. So amazing meeting today, and I am really happy to announce, what was the word of the day, elevated, to announce that we are within time. And I would now like to hand back the charge to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you all so much.
Toastmaster Naveed, are you there? Yes.
Yeah.
Are you being kicked out of your house? Let's find
No,
a place together.
I was watching TV and
We can look for a place together.
so that's the end. Should I hand over? So that's not now. I need to hand over to President for closing, right?
Yes, but ask for votes for the best before.
Oh yes, that I have to. So can you please float the vote for Big Fours?
There it is.
This is tough.
So I think, Madam President, you can take the charge now as the voting continues.
Okay, everyone, that was a very to the point and brief meeting we had with the withdrawal of. Okay, now since we have no guests, okay, do we have any announcements to make?
We actually have we have actually two guests. We have Toastmaster Zara and Toastmaster Ali Hasnan.
Okay.
Yes, Ali, you are a guest unless you renew. So yeah.
Okay, so guess Ali, can we have your comments?
He did not like it.
I think it's not. Or
Yeah.
TM Zara, can we have your comments? Since TM Ali isn't responding. Yes, Ali, sorry.
Actually, there were many people are making like a lot of noise at my home actually. So yeah. So it was a wonderful meeting as always, and always good to be here and to listen such brilliant speeches, and moreover how the decorum is, and moreover the entire smooth transition of the entire session, how it goes. And I always enjoy being in this meeting because being as you all know, I was the member of DAWA IBHM Toastmasters Club. So I'm unable to join the meeting because of the timings and all. But thanks to TM Latif Mansoor for giving me an opportunity to join Bhavan's Toastmasters Club. So it was a wonderful meeting, and I thoroughly enjoyed the table topic session, the entire general evaluation, the prepared speech session. Everything was to the point, and how the role players did an amazing job. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity as well. So thank you so much.
Okay. Yes, Ali, are you there? Ali Hasnan? Okay. Are the votes ready?
Yes, votes are ready. So the first poll is actually, if someone hasn't voted for the Big Four, please vote now. And
somebody was calling out my name, I think.
yes, we needed your comment since you're a guest. So yeah, your comments.
My comments for me. It feels good to be guest after being member for a long time. And I was so much stuck in my MBA program. It's really hard to manage all this side by side. But I think this is something that gives me an extra edge over my class fellows when I am regular at Toastmaster meetings. So at Karachi and Lahore, looking forward to being regular. in the future for both the Toastmaster families. Thank you.
Now you can continue with your vote.
Thank you so much, Madam President. The first poll is for Best Speaker, Popular, and Toastmaster Latif is the winner. Congratulations. Best Table Topics, again, a tough contest, but Toastmaster Ali Hassan is the winner. And we'll give you your certificate once you renew.
Looking forward to both the things. Inshallah soon.
All right.
And it was
Great.
after a long time.
Best
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, it was nice having you. You know the KTC strategy, so that's why you should know why you won. But no, congratulations, well deserved.
And you know I'm
you
doing MBA,
deserve,
so yeah. Thank you.
yeah, you deserve double credit because you came after so many days and yet you managed to conquer table topics. And today the highlight is that in all categories, almost all the candidates received some votes. So it was every candidate, every category is well fought. For best evaluator, I won by 1 vote, and that vote was not mine because being the meeting host, I cannot vote. So thank you so much. It was a tough contest. For best Big Four, our journal evaluator, Toastmaster Rabia Dishant, won. Congratulations. Again, a very tough contest. So tough that you might as well all be winners. Best facilitator goes to our listener, Toastmaster Hina Ali. And finally, the Critics' Choice Award, it was compiled by a secret judge and coupled with scores as per the evaluators that how strongly the speech adhered to the project goals. And once again, I will announce the top 3. The third place goes to Toastmaster Muzammal. Congratulations. The second place goes to Toastmaster Mufaddal. Congratulations. And the first place goes to me. And let me disclose that as per the critics, I received low marks, but the adherence to project score saved me. So I have DT and Sarfraz to thank for that, because on his suggestion, this was actually incorporated. So the class, there's a lesson for all of you that, it's not just enough to score well in the National Speech Contest ballot. You also have to fulfill the objectives of the project. So with that, Madam President, can I make some announcement also as VP Education?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. So the first announcement is our next meeting, which will be a perfectly, it will be a perfectly ordinary and after that, we have a very, very special event.
Toastmaster Tila, I don't think you
For
are
that,
audible
I'll
to
invite
anyone of us.
Toastmaster Latif on the stage. Am I now?
There was a lot of distortion and we couldn't hear the first announcement nor the second. We just
Nor
heard
the
Toastmaster
second.
Latif's name.
Yeah.
All right. The first announcement was just that there will be a perfectly ordinary meeting exactly 1 week from now. There is no anniversary, no special event, no extra feature that we know of. So it will be a perfectly ordinary meeting. And the second announcement will be made by Toastmaster Latif.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Talab bin Hamid, our VP Education and President, for approving and giving us an opportunity, or me, to perform a high performance leadership project. So a high performance leadership project is about having a contest of evaluation, but with an academy flagship, because this will be our academic Saturday meetings and advanced evaluation showdown. I will be floating two of the. First, you will see the rules, which will be floating on the in your chart, which you will see it now. You can access it. And second is the registration. So, good thing about this contest, it is we need minimum 27 members. Each team will be divided into three. Each evaluation team will be divided into three members. So one lead evaluator, one for recommendation, and one for commendation. And the process will be almost as per the evaluation contest. We will have a test speaker. Then the lead evaluator all the evaluators will be given 5 minutes of time to mark down their notes and everything. And finally, when we will be calling up, we will be calling the team. So the contest chair will call up the evaluation lead, commendation and recommendation team together. So you will see a big change or big form of evaluation contest. And here is the registration link. I've just floated on the chat. This will also be on the group, but I request each and every member, because this is like one time and it's first time ever happening in the entire world. It has never happened. According to distinguished Toastmaster Talab bin Hamid, this is like a speakathon marathon. Sorry, sir. What do you Olympics, like an Olympics. All the teams fighting for a contest. Looking forward for all your registrations. How you will manage the team. This is after the registrations are done, like we receive 27 to 20 or the 24 members if I receive, we will divide into according to that level of how balanced most probably it will be. And this will be not only done by me, it will be with my guidance committee, which has TM Amir Bilal with me, Toastmaster Najam Rizvi with me, and distinguished Toastmaster Talab bin Hamid. So we have a guidance committee which will consider and try to have a evaluation team which is completely, equivalent to fight with the others. Thank you very much, and over to you, VP Education.
Thank you so much. And yes, that is pretty much it for the announcements, except for one last announcement. And that is to grab roles for the next meeting. Just click the link. I am floating the link once again in our chat box. So everyone, if you want roles in the next meeting, this is your chance to grab them before anyone else for the 17th August meeting. So with that, yeah.
I just did not mention the date. It is on the 20th of August.
Yes.
Please.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It is on the 20th of August. That is Saturday, the next Saturday, not this Saturday, the next Saturday. So, yes.
Okay, I guess with that, since all the announcements have been made, it's time for adjourning the meeting. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah, goodbye. Good luck.
Can we have a group picture, please? Or
yes, everyone, if you can turn on your cameras. We've had a completely online meeting after ages.
After a long time.
Yeah. And Toastmaster Asghar just had to go to Beach Luxury and prove to all of us how futile that was. But this is what always happens in Karachi, right? When you're sure that it will rain, it hardly does.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yes, just give me everyone. Toastmaster Ali, if you can also turn on your camera, Ali Zagam.
Distinguished Toastmaster.
Yes.
Yeah, Talha, you have to be careful about Shakil. He's driving, mashallah.
Oh my God. Oh no. Oh.
This picture is important.
Yes.
I'm driving, that's why I'm not looking on the camera.
But
That's
this is
fine.
right.
That's fine. But your dedication is
Please
amazing.
don't
look.
please look. Please don't look. And thank you for your dedication. Sincerely appreciate it. So yeah, please look where you're going. And the photo is done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and God bless all of you. Thank you so much, DTM Surprise, for being present during the meeting, and looking forward to your participation in the next meeting.